Welcome back to another acting school of excellence with acting. Welcome everybody. Hello, Alicia Fenway. Welcome everybody in the chat. I hope you've all paid your £800 to be here today. Thank you, RCJ UK. Thank you, Greg AFC. Welcome everybody. Please take this very seriously. It's very important. The Stanislavski Toolkit. Acting. Now, our guest today is a proper actor. We've got. I think I can introduce him right now. Good evening, Chicken Coops. I can introduce our guest right now. Immediately. Welcome to the acting school. Is it what Herring?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Richard Herring.
Rick.
Richard.
Rick. Is Rick also a shortened Richard?
Yeah, it can be Rick.
Rick.
Dick. Some people go for Dick. I like Rich is my preferred shortening.
Rickolas. Rick. Well, welcome.
It's that sort of longer.
It's nicknames are fun. Welcome to the acting school.
Nice. I'm so honoured to be here.
Listen,
thank you.
Everyone is very happy to see you here. I'll be totally honest with you. Now, normally we do a bit of small talk with the guests that come on. We do a bit of the bantering, try and make them comfortable, that sort of thing. It's not required with yourself because you've actually done some of the acting before. You are an actor. I've had some scum on here is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, no, I've done a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's very flattering to be asked on for my acting. I think I am an extremely good actor. I don't get that much acting work. Usually I've written the part if I am it. But so yeah, no, I've done some.
Let me ask you a question, Rick. What's your favourite acting? What's your favourite acting?
It's a very good question. It's a hard question.
What's your favourite acting?
I think my favourite acting is when you don't react at all.
Is that acting?
That's the best. Yeah, I think that's 95% of acting is doing nothing, and that's my favorite. It's easy. It's the easiest bit, but a lot of it's just.
So
I think too many actors tried to pull too many faces, and actually, if you watch the best actors, they don't really. They talk pretty quietly if they have to talk.
Who's the best actor in your opinion?
Well, I've got it's just brought to mind because this is the only cup I could find. This is a Good Night Sweetheart cup I've got here.
Tom Cruise.
Nicholas Lyndhurst is very good. I mean, he's good because even when he's hopelessly miscast, like he is in Good Night Sweetheart, he still really gives it a good go. And I've got 6 series out of that or something. So that is, to me, that's a better actor than someone who just does the same thing and
that's
themselves.
Utterly fascinating thing to say. Now, you're saying the best acting is when you don't act, so you don't move your face, essentially.
Just as still as possible, doing as little as possible.
So, and do you say any lines, or you just freeze up?
I mean, if you have lines, I think it's polite to say them at some point. But before you say them, you could be still. And then and then everyone will look at you because they're going, "What's going on? Why isn't he gurning like all the other actors and pulling stupid faces?"
Okay, let's give it a quick go if you don't mind.
Okay.
You be the actor who's not gonna act, and I'll be who is it in the Matrix films with he plays the one? He's the one.
And there's all green numbers. Is it Keanu Reeves or is it
Keanu Reeves?
He's in it, isn't he?
And then there's another lad.
Yeah.
It's a British.
Is it Nicholas Lyndhurst?
It's Nicholas Lyndhurst. It's Nicholas Lyndhurst. So I'll be Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Okay.
You be the Keanu Reeves, and I'll give you some bad news, and then you're gonna. Okay. Or no, I'll give you good news. I'll tell you that you're the one. Spoiler alert, as they say.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, guess what? It's you. You are the one. Have you started? Is that?
That's it. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Now that is something I've not seen, and I've been around the world. I've trained Lisbon, Dubai 8 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere else 10 years.
Okay. Where was the somewhere else?
Europe.
I mean, you think if you were there for 10 years, you'd think you would know the name of what the place was.
Somewhere in Europe. Have you been to Europe?
I've been to Europe. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you've probably been there.
usually when I go there, I identify where I'm a bit more specifically than that. I mean, technically I'm in Europe now.
No, I don't agree with that. That's not what I voted. Now, fantastic bit of the acting there.
Thank you.
Where you didn't act, you chose not to act, and that's your basic human right.
I mean, Keanu Reeves actually, that is pretty much his acting style. So I could have been in The Matrix. That's pretty much what he does.
It's a wonderful film. The Matrix Revolutions is the third installment.
Right. No, I haven't seen that one. I saw the first one at some point, but I'm old now, and I can watch films every 3 years because I've completely forgotten everything that happened in all of them. They're kind of on a cycle. My brain wipes.
Now that's probably very useful in the actor's realm. To forget everything.
Sure.
And
it is, because you don't want the old parts stuck in. You're doing a new part, and you've got the script of the last one. It's still in there. For me, it's wiped. But the problem is, it's difficult to remember the one I'm meant to be doing now. I'm so old.
Oh, absolutely, because you don't want to be Nicholas Lyndhurst in The Matrix, doing that, and then you've already seen that, and then you're going to use that if you are on Hollyoaks.
I don't want to do that, or I do want to do that.
Absolutely do not want to do that. That's the last thing. Okay. You want
exactly. So you don't want to do the same bit. But although if you're doing the no acting thing, which I do recommend, also no one can criticize if you're not acting. They can't go, you're doing that wrong.
You're not even doing it
because you're not doing anything. So
I didn't even do it.
I wasn't doing anything. What was I doing wrong?
It's always
the director can't touch you.
I'm always trying to pick up little loopholes and things that will stop me getting in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's what I think, and it's beguiling, and it draws the viewer to you, and then just the slightest little movement or something, so I'm like, oh, that guy's good.
You see, I've been playing it differently. To draw the audience into myself, I just stand in front of the co-star, but whereas you just choose not to act and see two very different things.
Yeah, I mean, but then if the co-star is standing in front of you, if I'm working with you and you stand in front of me, then that negates what I'm doing a bit. I can't even by my method, I can't even just put my head around and do nothing there, because by moving my head, I've done something.
You know what?
So you've checkmated me there.
You've moved your head and you've done something. Now we're going to look at your career so far, Rick.
Great.
On IMDb, the internet. Internet actors, the IMDb, .co.uk. Before I get to that, excuse me. Before I get to that, I do need to say thank you, PS Twitch, for $9.94, and thank you for subscribing the Coliseum. And I might have missed one if a mod could tell me. Now, everyone, I want you to sit down where you are, concentrate closely, and look at this career. Now, we've had some people on here. Pardon my enthusiasm, and it's all real from the heart. We've had some people 1 or 2 IMDb things. This is absolutely disgusting. We've had people sometimes not even have an IMDb. Oh, look at my website. No.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
IMDb.co.uk is the place. Now, Rick, let's have a quick look. So I've got your IMDb up on screen here. Now, the first thing I see is a short film.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do short films.
Don't do that. It's not a proper film. It's too short.
Well, it's a short film. It's a short film, and what I like about short films is mainly I get asked to do them, and they're not only short to watch, they are short to do. And the thing I find with acting is it's quite boring, and so if it only takes a day or two, then you can stay concentrating on it. But if you have to do weeks and weeks on the same thing, and you're hanging around with actors who are generally quite boring people, a good actor really has to have nothing going on in their own personality.
I have nothing, and neither do you, and that's why we can.
That's why we're good.
Do the art, pay the art form its dues it deserves. Let's face it, key workers. Acting is key working.
Yeah, I mean more important than key working.
Thank you. Somebody said it, and also, so yeah, with a short film, they're very short. I mean, why not take this approach when you do your next feature film? Say I'm filming it all within 2 hours, CGI the rest in.
Yeah.
Speak to your agent, you know.
That might work.
Yeah.
That might work. I mean, if you do an animated film, you can sometimes do that because you just have you win an animated film. It doesn't matter what you do with your face because they can't see it unless it's one of those Gollum kind of things where they've got like they stick golf balls on you. I've never done that.
And you don't want to do that. Who's the guy that played Gollum? I think Tom
Serkis, Andy Serkis.
Tom Cruise. He went mad after.
Yeah,
he went mad.
Well, Gollum went mad. I think you may have just confused him with the role. I think Gollum.
Well, have you met him?
No, I haven't. I don't believe I have met Andy Serkis.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. Let's leave that there before. Let's just leave that there. It's hard work.
Okay.
Who's your most famous person you know?
Most famous. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I know a lot. And I know. What do I have to have met them and talk to them? Because I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought just like from the news and stuff.
Oh, who's your most famous person from the news?
Donald Trump, probably.
Good guy.
He's probably the most famous person. Oh, the Queen.
He was in Home Alone.
Yeah, he was Home Alone 2, I think. Yeah, so we saw it recently. Yeah, he played the part very well.
What about Bradley Cooper? You know him?
No, I don't know Bradley.
You don't know Bradley? He's a good guy. No. He speaks highly of your IMDb.
Good. Well, I'm sure that I'm sure a lot of these actors are looking through, and I think a lot of the reason I don't get into longer films and the short films is because a lot of the other actors see how good I'm doing and probably have a word with the directors and say don't put him in because then he'll have other credits.
Don't even get me started. I've had this experience many times, Rick. On I did a good stretch, a year-long stretch in Broadway of the Metrics. They made it a play, and everyone very intimidated by me. Very, very.
You call it the Metrics?
The Metrics Reloaded.
Yeah. Okay. The Metrics.
Yeah. You seen it?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I haven't seen the Metrics. No. I haven't seen the. There must have been some staging issues with the Matrix. I call it the Matrix, and unless it's a different film that I'm thinking of.
It's probably this was adapted for the Vegas Broadway.
Right. Vegas
Casino.
Broadway.
You know.
Okay. Was it a sort of interactive piece within the casino, or was there a theater?
It was right in the. Excuse me. It was right in the middle of one of the. It's right in the middle of one of the roulette wheels.
Okay. That is a challenging environment because
it spins.
Well, it's spinning, and also people are watching it spin, hoping it will land in a certain number. If you're acting on top of that, kicking the ball. I'll
tell you what happened more times than I care to frankly discuss.
Yeah.
They'd be like, red 24, throw it right in my mouth.
Okay.
So, excuse me. I've been drinking a lot of orange juice. You did back on your IMDb, Rick.
IMDb, yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen who are watching at home, they've all paid £800 to be here. So,
really?
Yeah. Some more if they got a package with a notepad. I don't know, 1,000 for them. You were in a little production called "Batteries Not Included."
I was, yeah. That was. I mean, it wasn't. I was playing a character with the same name as me. Being modest.
Johnny Five is alive, isn't it?
It's not that. It's not the movie. It was a.
There's the Indian character who's actually a white man, which
I
think is
fine. That was the. I don't think that's a problem, is it?
It's not a problem. Look, I'm an indigenous English man. I've put this for show, and it's absolutely fine. No, I mean, they can write their blogs, they can write their things, and ultimately, who's winning here? £800. How many acting students? 395 apparently.
Okay. I mean, if that's wrong, then it ain't half hot mum shouldn't have been allowed. So.
Yeah, you said that right. If that's wrong, then it isn't half hot mum.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I think that's acceptable. But yes, this was a different batteries not included to that batteries not included. But there was quite a lot of people playing other races within that.
You know what they say?
Quite offensive and unnecessary and quite offensive ways.
Oh, I don't believe in that. I think I'm all for freedom of speech, and you should really be a racist. Now, I'm just looking through the IMDb. It's fantastic stuff, and you're being modest, saying, "Oh, it was just this, it was just this." And let me tell you, Rick, the great saying is, modesty is the. Hold on. you're being modest.
Yeah.
Modesty is the enemy of it ain't half hot, mum.
Yeah, maybe. It's the ice that goes onto 8.5 hot mum to make it.
Thank you.
Less hot, so it's not hot.
Thank you.
It is half hot mum.
Yeah. I've also seen that you did some comedy things on there.
Yeah.
And don't do that, because really, I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
Comedy is not acting. Anyone can do comedy.
Well.
Yeah.
I think anyone can do. I mean, I genuinely think anyone can do serious stuff. What I don't get about the Oscars and stuff, they reward people for doing very serious roles, which anyone can do.
You just don't move your face, like you said.
You don't move your face, like I said. It's written, so it's all moving, and you just have to look very sad. Whereas making people laugh is a skill, and one that I, luckily I have. I can make anyone laugh all the time about anything, and it's a curse in a lot of ways, because sometimes you're trying to be. I'm not sure I agree. I believe laughter is the enemy of the actor's wardrobe. The actor's, what do you call it? Laughter's the enemy of that. Yeah, it is the enemy of that. I agree with you on that. It's the enemy of the actors, that wardrobe, that thing. Yeah.
It's the enemy of that.
Yeah. As
they say in our crazy business world, they call show business. Hence. Yeah, it's not anyone can do acting. I've been to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. I've seen Mr. Bean live. It's not comedy. It's not talent. I mean, it's comedy. It's not acting, is it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think Mr. Bean is a character. As far as I'm led to, it would be wonderful to find out Mr. Bean is the actor and Rowan Atkinson is the character.
I know, I've met him. He's like that.
Is he?
Yeah.
But I think it's a performance, and a lot of within the theatre, a lot of things that anywhere else in the world would be considered the lamest jokes in the world become, to a theatre audience, just the funniest thing. The way a theatre audience laughs, and the small amount of jokes you need to have in a play to make it an amusing play is ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I've been in a lot of the Broadway plays, and there's laughter throughout, and it's not meant to happen.
Yeah, well, I can understand that's but that's probably someone at the back moving their face too much, so you're probably doing, and so people are laughing, and that's ridiculous. That guy is clearly acting.
So,
whereas if just still.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna try it. Here, you give me a line of some, I don't know, heartbreaking news or something, and I'll try to do the non-face movement. Okay.
So, just I don't know how to break this to you, but your dog, I've just run over your dog, and its head's come off. It's dead. I mean, you are I mean, I'm only seeing this 5 seconds behind, but you seem to be. You put your hand to your face there, didn't you? So that's a reaction that I'm seeing. That's better. That is. The problem is, I think
the face. You say.
Yeah. I think the face. Just to give you some feedback on that, it's hard to me to judge. I'm not watching it in real time.
I appreciate
the face. You moved your face into a position, and I think what you have to do is
Did it change?
It did. I mean, I think unless that's your resting face, which if it is, then I don't think you can really be an actor.
I've had a lot of Botox in the.
Right.
I'm 65.
Okay.
Fascinating stuff. We don't usually get this level of insight. We have some absolute idiots, to be honest, come on here. Yeah. Before we move on to the next thing, Rick, I just have to thank some donors. Thank you for 6 bits, Roving Machine. Thank you for 100 bits, Dranar. It says a proper English icon here. Thank you. Thank you, KT2, for 1 bit. I mean, I can't buy anything with 1. Thank you, Jack F89, for 100 bits. Thank you for subscribing, T-Cake 2020. They're just, extra for the So I think we're comfortable enough now. I believe we are close friends now within our acting world. We've become very close. Oh, thank you for 100 bits. Have been absolutely loving. Highlight of my week. Please take this seriously, Matt H. This should not be the highlight. This is very serious. So that's the IMDb done. Now we can do a couple of acting warm-ups. Now you got to warm up. If everyone watching at home, you really need to warm up before you act, because that's who's the guy that played Gollum. It's little Tom Cruise. He did not warm up before that, and I think he broke his legs.
Yeah.
So you got to warm up. I mean, I know we did a bit of still-faced acting there, but we're professionals in the industry. We've lived the Hollywood lifestyle, and a lot of you watching wouldn't be allowed near Hollywood. No disrespect intended. Watch these, and one day, yes, perhaps, but for now, please stay well away from. Sorry, I just have to, because they think that they're superstars because they watch one of these, and I have to put them in their place. You probably get it all the time.
Yeah.
People saying, I can join Hollywood because you've done it, Rick.
They do say that all the time, a lot of the time. No, I mean, not all the time. It would be impossible to sleep, but it's often in the waking hours, 20% of the time.
I have to change my category to just chatting, somebody told me. Category, just because...
well, are we just chatting? I feel it's more than that. That's the problem, I think, with that category.
The problem is Twitch does not have it doesn't have an option to put... there's no genius option.
No, exactly. I go out stone clearing and on my one, and I have to put just chatting, and I go, well, this is just chatting. This is a man.
You're clearing a stone.
I'm clearing stones and creating a work of art.
Oh, absolutely.
For that.
Where's my Oscar?
Yeah.
Giving it to a foreign film. So a couple of acting warm-ups we're going to do here. So we've got two. There's one that I know that you'll absolutely excel at, which, by the way, can I just say, the time we've had here together already, I think you've been nothing short of utterly brilliant. I didn't agree with some of the things you said. I think some things you said were out of order. Some of the still-faced acting you did, I did not respect.
Okay.
But no, I did respect. I didn't like it, but I respected it.
That's even better. That's better than not respecting it.
And there's other things you said that I really, really liked, but I had absolutely no respect.
Liking it, as long as it's one or the other. I mean, if it's both, and maybe you failed if it's both.
It can't have both.
No.
Only person who could have both was the great... who's the actor? The great Ben Affleck. His little brother, the little weird one.
Casey Affleck.
Casey. So the first acting warm-up, Rick, is called... it's called... I'm sorry, before I do that, I'm very sorry. I just have to thank you, Matt Hidjevish, for 100 bits. Oh, I've already thanked you. Sorry, I take that back. Give that back. Kater Cakes, thank you for 200 bits. John Micken, 95 bits, thank you. To Stone Clearing. I think that's a film or something. That must be a stage production. I don't know what that... So the first... Thank you for 100 bits, Ridley W. So the first acting warm-up, Rick, is called Be From Newcastle.
Oh, great.
Now, there's a line that I've sent you to read. It's a line from... It's a classic. I think it's an Australian film or something called Breaking Bad, an absolute classic Oscar winner. The line, I'll read it in my indigenous British English Viking indigenous accent. This is the line, so you should have it in front of you, but I'll just do it first. You are not some hardened criminal, Walt. You are in over your head. That's what we tell them. That's the truth. That's the line. I did not act that there. It was zero acting. Hard to tell. Now, do you want to read that firstly in your indigenous British Viking?
Yeah, I'll do it as myself first, just to show how I would do it if it was me. Okay. You're not some hardened criminal, Walt. You're in over your head. That's what we tell them. That's the truth.
I just imagined you were acting that, because that was so far from what someone would want from an actor. That's why I was pardoned the laughter.
No, fair enough. That's fine. I was just,
as
I said, that was just a reading the words.
It's mutual respect. Thank you for subscribing. What does this button do? Now, if you want to give us your Newcastle accent, we can. I mean, we can see where we are. I might need to help you. You might need to help me. I don't know yet. So,
well, the thing, I am very good at accents. That's kind of my thing. I do have a technique, and so if I'm filming a scene like this in a Newcastle Geordie accent, I would ask the director. I'd say, run the cameras and do all that. This thing.
Run the cameras. Yeah, I've been there. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I will do the lines, but I'll need, just to get into it, I need to do a little bit, just to get into it, I need to do a little bit.
Please do, and we're going to watch along, and I want everyone to pay close attention to what Rick does.
So with Newcastle, which is quite a hard accent to do, a lot of people struggle with this, I would start by going, "Why I pet?" So that gets you in, you're sort of into the accent, but then they would cut that out of the film. "Why I pet? You are not some hardened criminal, Walt. Yeah, in over your head, pal. Fucking the time. That's what we tell them. That's the truth." So then I know. I mean, if I feel it slipping, I just throw in what I did there. I don't know if you noticed in the middle. I said fog on the time.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
No, well, it's that just took me back into the Geordie.
I just
I lost it on Walt, and just because Walt's not a very Geordie name, Walter it would have been, and then
Walter. You can change it to Walter. Do you want to say Walter in the accent?
Okay, well, let's try it again. "Why I love, hey, Viz, you are not some hardened criminal, Walter." Much better. Yes. "You are in over your head. That's what we tell them. Why I? The Tyne Bridge. That's the truth." I just felt I'd gone a bit Scottish, just for 2 words.
I mean, they're basically the same accent, aren't they? Scottish.
They are the same. I mean, certainly in Hollywood.
In Hollywood,
in any American production, if you went over, I don't know if you've seen Frasier. They've got an English actress.
Professor Fraser Crane. Yeah, I think I have.
Well, they've got an English actress who's meant
film.
to be from Manchester and can't do Manchester, and then they get a load of her brothers over who equally are not from Manchester.
I thought he was. I thought the brother. He goes, "You are lovely." Is it that one?
There's about 4 brothers come across, and they're played by Robbie Coltrane. I think I want to say Richard E. Grant. I don't know if he's in it.
Possibly.
But she's the main character. They don't care as long it just has to sound vaguely.
Yeah.
If it's close to anything Dick Van Dyke would do, they're happy, and which is I feel I've got the perfect. Some people in Newcastle might pick up the odd vowel sound in what I did. Occasionally, people get very offended.
Snowflakes, Rick. You can't do anything about these. No. These days, you can't say anything anymore.
No.
And it's really. So she's from. Before we get to the finish the Newcastle, she's from Manchester. She would say, if I could just take myself back there to the Mancunian times, she would say, "Dr. Fraser Crane, where's Niles, my boyfriend?"
Yeah. She will probably say that.
So I'll give it a go the way excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go the way that you did. I'll just need to get the line up in front of me. So it was fog on the Tyne. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, fog on the Tyne. Anything that just why I bet.
Why I bet.
Just gets you into it and reminds you how those people speak.
Jonathan Woodgate scored a goal in the Carling Cup final. "You are not some hardened criminal, Walter, my friend. You're in over your head there."
Yeah.
That's what we're going to tell them. That's the true.
Yeah, I mean,
probably thought you were doing one of your shows in the north east of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. No, it was. It was interesting. I think again in America that would pass. That would pass for being fine.
I thought that was absolutely perfect from both of us.
Yeah. Well,
never seen.
I think you got
like
the U. The first word was great, and I think you just have to try and. But with film, if it's on in a play, I don't believe Breaking Bad has been done as a play.
Oh yeah, I've been in that. Yeah.
Oh, you've been in it? Okay. Then you have to do it right every time. If you're in a film, they can, as long as you just get each word right at some point, they just edit it all together.
That's absolutely fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what film? Con Air.
I do know
Con Air. The baddie, Mr. John Malkovich, who I've worked with for many times, he was not even in it. It's all CGI.
That's interesting.
There was just nothing there.
So it was what, animated in later?
Animated in. If you look closely, he looks exactly like Woody from Toy Story. He's got the hat.
Okay.
And it's absolute work of class. So we done Manchester, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Is there any other accent while the people are here that you feel that you could demonstrate to teach them the basics?
I can do any of the accents.
Does anyone have a suggestion?
Within the UK, I've been told I'm not allowed to do. I think it's an equity thing. I'm not allowed to do any foreign accent.
Yes, that would be equity. That would be equity.
Because
someone said Northern Irish.
Oh, Northern Irish, I'm great at. Yeah. So again, with
you
Northern
can do the same
Irish,
line again if you want.
I do the same thing.
But yeah.
So you just have to get into there are hard people. There are an angry people.
Yeah.
So you just have to. They're all just angry, but you're Northern Ireland. That's how I get into Northern Ireland. So I say Northern Ireland. You are not some hardened criminal wop. You are in over your head. That's what we tell them. That's the truth.
Okay, so so Northern Ireland. So you're not a hardened criminal wop. You know, that's what you tell them. That's the truth.
Are you doing it? I don't know.
I think I nailed it.
Okay. It might be a bad connection on.
It could be. Oh, you missed it. It was very, very, very much good.
Okay. It just sounded like
so
you to me, but.
So the second warm up, Rick, if I can be so bold as to call it that, as such, what it is, that is it.
I'm feeling warm.
Fantastic. The second one is called Do Moods. Now, I don't know if you know about moods, if you've used them in your own acting.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes, for example, saying a line is one thing. We can all say the line if you learn it, you improvise say the. But then occasionally you'll have to. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh no, do a mood with that." So it can be sad. Or it can be the opposite. Moods. Did you know about this?
I know some of the moods.
Which ones?
The sad. You mentioned sadness. I knew that one. I knew that one already. Or was it happiness you mentioned? The opposite. Whichever one you mentioned, that one I've heard of before. Just used it. You said it. And also just being in a mood. That's why it's called being in a mood.
Why is
it
in
a mood?
In a what?
Because
mood?
That's why it's called a mood. Because you're in a mood.
Which mood?
You're in the mood. You're in a mood. So that's the mood. The mood in a mood is a mood.
So if someone say he's in a mood, he's in any mood.
Well, not any mood. It's the specific mood of being in a mood.
And that's
the other moods are still moods, but they're not in a mood. If you're happy, you're not in a mood. You're happy. The mood you're in is happiness. But if you're in a mood, then that's a different mood.
Okay,
that's the mood. So there's happiness, sadness, in a mood.
In a mood. In a mood. And to be
in
a mood.
In a bit less of just kind of coming down off the other side of being in a mood.
Okay.
There's a going up to sort of nearly in a mood, but you're not in a mood yet. But you're heading up. You're going up in that one. So there's up and there's down. They're sort of similar levels, but but
do that with your hands.
One's down.
Do the mood with your hands.
So there's the mood. You're in a mood up there.
Up there.
That's the way up to in a mood. That's the way down. If you look at them, they look almost identical.
They look the same.
Yeah, but they're not, because it's the direction.
They're not the same.
Going up, and that one's going. If it would be going like that to look less.
It would
not
be.
The same. They're not the same. They're mirror images of each other.
So where did you get this training from?
This is just what I've been acting for 30 years or something.
Me too.
This is, you just pick this stuff up. You learn. No, not from other actors, because most of them don't know how to act properly.
You say that again.
Yeah. So you just work out.
So
when I did it, just a trial and error. I've been in so many things. You just try different things. If you look at Nicolas Cage, he just tries a different thing with every line.
He tries everything, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, in the same line, he'll be in a mood, out of mood, up on a way into the mood, all at the same time. Happy, sad, shouting. And the thing is, if you just a stop clock is right twice a day, and someone doing all the moods at the same time, is right. You'll get the right one in amongst it. That's the thing.
Stop clock is the correct mood if you want to the actor should channel. If I'm writing a book about acting, and I think that's
you put that in, but it's also like it's a clock that's moving. It's not stopped. It's
diagonally.
It's just spinning round and round. It's a clock. The hands have gone nuts and they're spinning round.
A Fitbit.
It's right all the time.
A Fitbit counts
Yeah, it does. And if it's moving so fast that every single time goes past in every second, it's right
100% of the time.
100% of the time.
Absolute. Thank you. Now we got to the bottom of that in the end, and that was intense. Incredible. I hope
I've
you
never
all...
had to put it into words before. I think that's the thing. It's just something I know innately, but now put it into words. Yeah, that's
like most acting. You just go ahead and you throw yourself in. Like Leo DiCaprio. Every time I see him, you can tell he's not spoken to anyone that day. He's going to do what he wants. He's got very bad teeth in Django.
Yeah, I think that's makeup.
You obviously don't know Leo. So we're going to do some moods. So we'll start. So people in the chat here, you've paid £800 to be a subject. You can suggest some moods for us to do. I think we'll start with an easy one. Frustrated. So if you do that at the same time as me. So frustrated, Rick. Oh, let me do that. That's very good. That's very good.
That was some movement in that acting.
And were you thinking about anything in particular when you did that? Because
I was thinking
you almost cried.
I was thinking about what kind of face would you pull if you were frustrated, and then also I thought, what would you do? Then I thought, oh, maybe I should do something with my hands. And then I thought, oh yeah, I'll do that with my hands. So that's the way I built up the frustration, was to think of what a frustrated person would look like, and then I did what I thought it would look like. But it was me doing it. I can't actually. Yeah, I can't actually. I've got aphantasia. I can't imagine anything in my brain of a visual. I can only imagine words in my brain. I can't see visual images. So
do you dream in your dreams like a textbook?
I can dream when I'm dreaming. I can see stuff, but if I'm trying to see stuff when I'm awake, it's like a magic power. You know, if I try to dream when I'm awake, I can't, because I'm awake, and I can only think of stuff, but I can't see it inside my head. So that means, as an actor, you might be able to go, oh, I'll picture a frustrated face. I can't do that. I have to think, what have I seen people do when they're frustrated? Try and remember that. But then I'll remember it as words, because I can't remember what they were actually doing. And I'll remember, oh, they were moving their hands around, and their face looked all frustrated.
They did the ball of the fist like with the hand.
Oh.
Yeah, the train's gonna be late.
Yeah.
Someone said, let's see, some of the suggested moods. Let's see. Oh, if you can have a look as well, you can pick one. Be my guest. Egg-bound, is that a word? Average mood?
I mean, egg-bound is...
egg-bound.
That's when you've eaten too many eggs.
Yeah.
See, if I was going to do that, first of all, I have to imagine eating eggs.
You have to think, and what kind of egg?
So I'd think...
Poached.
That's...
Poached.
Oh, poached. I thought you meant which animal. I was going to say human eggs, and then no, all right, chicken eggs.
Human eggs poached.
Yeah. So I'll do human eggs. I've eaten so many of those human eggs.
Yeah.
I've broken it. So the character, it's not me. The character, I would never even think of something like this. The character that I'm playing has broken into some kind of fertility clinic, has just got all the test tubes out, and just, I don't think he's even cooked them. I think he's just drunk them down. Too many though.
Too many. That's the saddest bit of this.
Full, and then it's just, and then within that, I think I will explain this as I do it. I don't think it needs explanation, but just because we're teaching, I suppose.
Yeah, please do.
Within that, just, I can't go to the toilet, but also, what have I done? Those are potential human lives. That's probably like have your stomach full in a Mark Arman sense of human eggs.
Yeah.
That would be a million, well, probably a million lives you'd wiped out.
Yeah, but it was for a good cause. So
I don't think it wasn't. It would have been hunger if I hadn't been so greedy as to eat so many that it filled me up completely.
Apple. Somebody said apple. Is that a mood?
Apple.
Apple.
Well, I can't imagine an apple, so that's hard. The mood of an apple. The mood
of an apple.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, so if you're doing that, you kind of need to get into the mindset of the apple. I'm going to choose an apple on a tree. I think that's only when it's alive. Otherwise, you're sort of playing a corpse, a sort of zombie apple.
Yeah.
And I think, and then you just got to think, how I'm an apple. What's
I'm an apple.
Ah.
Oh, I'm an apple.
This is the apple wouldn't have this hand. I mean, that's but the rest of it. But that gives, I think, the essence.
Steve Jobs.
Oh no, I'm being picked. Ooh.
Oh no, I'm being picked.
Yeah.
Although, would you be happy to? No, probably not. You die.
No, I think you're saying, would you be happy if I, pulled
Ripped
you out of
me
your
off
house
out of my home.
threw you into space?
Ate me.
Yeah, you wouldn't be happy.
Took a bite right out of my stomach.
Put you in a fruit bowl even without eating you and just left you there until you rotted and then went, I forgot to eat it.
Put me in a fruit ninja with some oranges, which, by the way, kills the taste.
Okay.
Pick one fruit at a time, okay, Rick?
Okay, I will.
Really, you've all been quite bad at suggesting moods. Curious, that's a good one. Do you want to do your curious?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do them at the same time.
Well, this is easy. Well, I've got glasses here, so it's easy. It's just...
Oh, I don't have glasses. How do I do it? Hand in the mouth. What can I put in my mouth?
That's prop work. And then props can do 90% of the moods for you. Like surprise. Yeah, so if you've got a prop, you often don't even have to change your face. Just like...
Unbelievable. Like, have you seen Son of the Mask, the sequel to The Mask?
I haven't seen that one.
Best film ever made.
Okay.
And they wear a mask.
Oh, well, that's a great prop. You don't have to do anything. If you've got a mask, you can actually just do what you like with your face.
The Joker, everyone says that's good, but really they've painted his face.
Yeah.
So anyone could have done that.
Yeah.
So, disconcerted. What does that mean?
It means, isn't that when you've done something to your back?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah! She's left me. I just added a...
Okay.
Okay,
well... She probably would leave you because of the back.
Yeah, you can't trust anyone.
Women like men with backs. That's the thing.
They do. And
those guys with backs always do well.
And listen, we'll get absolutely cancel cultured for saying that these days. Now, so the final, we can take. You know what? Shall we do this before we do the final thing planned? Let me get rid of the moods there. We can take some questions from the audience that have paid to be here. Actually, you all start your questions. I'll say thank you. What does this button do for 5 bits? Discombobulated. Oh, they paid for that. Discombobulated.
Okay.
Did you just do that now?
I mean, it's the same, and it's disconcerted as it's just like
that's bad back. Oh,
it's a bit bad back, but just a bit more jittery.
Oh.
It's a comedy bad back, isn't it? Like septo. Oh, that's how you do comedy.
It's bleeding.
Yeah, that's not so funny.
Craig Russell Horn, thank you for subscribing. RJBTJ, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for 500 bits. Bruce Pez No Feet. It's probably one of Rick's supporters. Oh, sorry, I was meant to check who has a question. It's the Q&A now before the main event. You're still doing moods. Honestly, the state of these people. What if my back is fine? Dean Astley, it's called acting. Do you really think Joey Depp had real scissor hands? Yeah, he did some of the time. How do you make yourself cry when acting? Do you have an answer for that?
I've never had to cry when acting. What I do is I always play characters who I know will never cry.
Have you ever cried in real life?
No. So basically any grown man, as long as I'm not playing a child, which I don't really get offered many child roles anymore, I know that I will not be called on to cry, so I don't have to cry. If you really have to do it, just go, and then like you hide in your face. and you go, "Oh, I'm
that was
crying.
good.
Oh, that's really sad. Oh, there's tears coming out my eyes, and I'm crying."
Ah!
Yeah. That might
We've
be too
got
much.
who? Let's still. Why are plays good? Why are plays good?
They often. I think when a play is good, it's usually just by comparison to the other plays.
Spot on.
The reason a play is good is because most plays are so bad that when you see one that isn't bad, you go, "Wow, that was good."
And also, in a play, you can much more room for improvisation, as we called it in the States.
Yeah.
Where you can just jump on and say any old thing, and the director's fuming, but it's done now. Whereas you try that in Hollywood, you get beaten up.
Yeah, you can't do it really, except in a lot of those. Some of the American films, what they like to do is they just do a take, and then they say, "You guys just do a take," and then they will put all the takes in a row because they think they've been so clever improvising. But it's quite. I just find that quite annoying. But
I think Americans are great.
Yeah, they all are.
Who's the actor that does the best good acting? Who do you think is the best actor that does good acting these days?
Well, the best actors you don't know are acting. You watch the film and you think it's really happening, and so it's what you've asked is a logical impossibility because the best actors will not be able to do it.
So it's a bit like the Matrix again. Sorry to bring it up, Matrix Revolutions. When I saw that in the cinema theater, and I thought, hold on, are they really flying around in the green text?
Yeah.
Is that for real?
Well, if you thought that, if you thought you're still questioning it, so they weren't that good. If you'd gone, "This is for real," I don't believe what I'm seeing. This is incredible. Then they would have succeeded as actors. If you were even for a moment thinking, "There's some kind of trick to this?" Then they've failed as actors.
Which is the best angle for acting? Sideways.
I think dead on. Dead on. Just
boom. You want
full into the face.
Complete, no hair, complete into the face. Shave the eyebrows off, complete in there. Fascinating.
Yeah, if you like.
How should you play a postman? Someone said.
Well, I have played a postman. I think this is a fan of mine who's aware of some of the work.
No, can you ban them? I'll get one of my mods. You can answer the question, but I'm.
No, I will ask it. We'll answer it.
You can.
I have played a postman. Again, what I did for that, I got a postman's jacket and a postman's bag, and I put those on, and then that was it. Then I was a postman, and then I just walked into the scene. I had a letter, I think, that helped. I gave the letter to a character, which, to be honest, doesn't really happen in real life. But I was so good at doing that no one went.
What doesn't happen in real life?
Postmen they don't come into a pub and give you the post. They just post it through the letterbox. I was so good, no one ever questioned that. I don't think many people saw it, but also the ones who did see it didn't question it. They just thought it's so good.
And that won a BAFTA.
If it did, I never check. It's like some people don't read their reviews. I never check whether I've won awards or not. So if I did, yeah.
You could have won one today. I've got a bunch of them.
If I have, I don't check. I'm not interested in awards, and they're an inconvenience to me.
We do it. We're not interested in awards, everybody. We're not interested in any of that nonsense.
I don't open. If people post stuff to my house, I don't open it in case it's an award. I don't want to know that I've.
Don't open it. We do it all for the love of the money. So I think we're ready to do our final bit of the acting, Rick, if you don't mind, per se. Now we're going to do an
I've kind of cooled down a bit from the war. We've done the warm up was so long ago that I've cooled down a bit. But I'll
do you want to do a quick warm up?
No, it's all right. I can work with it. Just if it's not that good, that's the reason.
So this is an improvised improvisation scene we're going to be doing. Have you ever done improvisation?
Yeah, everything I do is basically improvised.
What? Everything?
Yeah.
Even when you're in Johnny Five is Alive?
I wasn't in that, but
the Indian man.
Yeah, I wasn't the Indian man in it. It's the way I look at it. You know, when you're in your life and you're doing stuff and things happen to you and you react to them and you do stuff and you say stuff to people.
I guess.
That's all improvised, right?
No, I write that down before.
Yeah, well, if you've planned that out in advance, what if something happens that you haven't written in the script?
Then I just go to a monologue from Hamlet.
Okay. Well, what I do is I just in life I haven't worked out what I'm going to do at all, and then if I have a conversation with someone, they say something and I'll say something, and then if I go out and meet someone, I go, oh hello.
So they say something, you say something.
If I'm walking the dog and someone says, oh, does your dog want to play? I'll go, no, probably she's not very friendly at the moment. I'm keeping on the lead. None of this is written. I just work out in my head.
So let's try that.
So I'm always improvising.
So I will try practice. We're in the park where you live in Hampstead. Oh, does your dog want to play?
No, it's on a lead here, and can you see it snarling at your dog?
Give me your dog.
No, it's my dog. Why would you want my dog? No. Sorry. Yes, and no. Yes and no. I'm not going to give you the dog.
Well, I think that was excellent. Now let's do a real improvisation. I think that you're in good form clearly for the acting.
Thank you.
This improvised improvisation we're doing is a police interrogation. I watch a lot of these on YouTube. Now, you can. Do you want to be the police officer first?
Yeah,
I'll be the criminal.
Okay.
So whenever if you want to knock on the door. Oh no, wait. I can't answer the door because I'm handcuffed.
I'll just come through.
You just come through the door.
I'll just come. I don't think you knock. Really, it's not like.
Or I'll get into
the
character.
interrogation room is not the person's house. You don't have to knock. You just come in.
Not traditionally, but so So whenever you're ready, I'll be
it's hard not doing this up on the. I won't do it up on the fixture. You won't see me, but I'll just have to.
Yeah.
Just shaking.
Come on.
And also, if I was doing this, I'd put on a detective hat or something.
Oh yeah.
I'd say detective on it, and that would just help. All right, you. Come on. Did you do it or not? What's the answer to that?
I'm not even saying anything to you, my friend.
Bloody better say whether you did it or not right now, or we're just going to assume you did it and not even go to court. So
is that how it works? I didn't even do that thing.
Oh well, thank you. You've answered my question. So that's 1-0 to me on the score of the detective versus potential criminal. You say you didn't do it. Well, why have we got some secret evidence that you did do it? I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's very good.
You're bluffing.
Am I?
Yeah, you can't even tell me what you've supposedly got because I don't even know, and I don't even know what you're talking about anyway.
Well, you do think about the mistake you made during the crime you committed, and then that's what. Just list off a couple of the mistakes you think you made in the crime.
Only mistake I made was not shooting the guy more times in the legs.
And there we have it.
Scene.
You just said you did it.
Scene. You'd be a good detective.
Thank you. Yeah, I got you, didn't I? I got you.
You got me in the end.
I thought it was shoplifting, so I'm delighted I've got.
No, it was shoplifting, but I'd done the other murder 10 years before.
Wow.
And they arrested some other guy.
That was good. Maybe I should become a detective because I felt that.
It's pretty easy. You got GCSEs?
Yeah. Well, O levels because I'm old, but yeah.
Oh no, you can't do it with O levels.
Oh.
It has to be GCSEs. What did you get in media? Did you do media studies?
They didn't have that then. There was no media when I was young. I got what's the closest to detecting. I got an A in history.
Oh.
That's probably the closest to detecting.
It's pretty. So now we're going to roll the reversal, as it's known in our circles, and I'll be playing the character of the detective, a gentleman, and you'll be a disgusting criminal. Okay. Which is a stretch for you. I was going to make a joke and say it isn't, but I have utter so much respect for you in this moment.
Yeah, I very appreciate the respect you've got for me.
You're welcome very, very much. And let me begin. Okay, so I'll come into the room. I'm going to knock and open the door as well.
Okay.
Here I am.
Good, come in.
Well, what do we have here? I think I'll stand, thanks. I don't take instructions from a crook.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
I'll just I'll try to pop out and make you one, or
Yeah.
okay. Would that probably take 5-10 minutes?
Take your time, man.
Okay, sugar.
2.
You to take milk with it.
Oat
Milk.
milk.
Oat sugar.
Oat sugar. Could you do oat sugar?
I can try, but I think that might. It might just take a bit longer to procure because I have to find it.
Are you guilty or not guilty? Give me some
yeah.
straight.
Can I let you know when I've made the cup of tea? I'll just pop out and make the tea.
Give me some idea first, please. If just before you go.
I'm going to say I probably didn't do it, but I don't want to give it away this early in the show. So let's. In the investigation.
Okay, you go get me a cuppa, and I'll read
back.
I'll read the Sky Sports.
Cool. All right.
Okay, so I'll read the Sky Sports.
I'll just pop to the kitchen to get that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And that's quite clever because my character, that was my plan to escape.
You didn't get the tea.
I was guilty. No, I just went out and then I got a detective out. So the next scene is me getting a detective coat on.
Oh.
And you just walk out and go, see you, bye. Yeah.
Now you're gonna be a detective.
Well, no, I was the criminal is. I'd done loads of murders and stuff, and they caught me, and then that was my way out. And then there was one hanging up, put it on, and then you leave in. They go, hold on. You go, oh no, look, I've got the coat.
You see what you didn't know?
On your way.
I did the same thing 10 years ago, and I've never been a detective. I was a murderer.
So we're two criminals.
We're two criminals, and that's why I knew what was happening there.
Brilliant.
Oat sugar is the key word to say run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense now. That's great. Well, look, we've just improvised a new drama that could go on ITV.
That could go on ITV in a heartbeat.
I don't think we even have to refilm it.
I don't think so. I think they can use this. They can CGI in Tom Cruise's Gollum thing. He can be someone else.
Okay.
We've got 2 minutes left, Rick. So if we could just take some questions. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Oh no, they've got nowhere to go. I'm not allowed out.
That's very sad. People are saying this was £1,600 well spent. Does anyone have any questions now they'd like to ask the actor Rick or myself? Is ITV4 is like BBC4, right? Is that to do with Rick's career?
I think they're similar.
Someone said, "What's your favourite pun?" I don't see why that's relevant.
I don't really like puns.
No, pardon the pun. Yeah.
No, don't.
Pardon.
I don't think they should. I don't think. I wouldn't pardon a pun because I think a pun is the greatest crime in all humanity. So
you're not pardoning. Okay. So don't part because that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. What's your preferred colour of herring? Someone says. I don't see how that's relevant.
I prefer them they come out sort of silvery, don't they? That's the colour I prefer them to be.
Not when I'm done. Not the way I kill them, mate. Blood. But
I prefer them a bit alive.
Trip Maverick. We're not answering that. Are you well? Why are you sitting on his lap? Someone said. He's not on my lap.
On my lap.
Who is?
I'm quite well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, physically, actually physically not that well, and mentally not that well. But
mentally,
overall, that cancels each other out. Two negatives make a positive.
Well, I'll tell you what I do, because there's an awful lot of nonsense these days around mental health propaganda. Let's call it what it is. And they talk to someone. I just act like I'm in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right.
When he's happy.
Yeah. That could work.
I guess the problem is people don't want to invest in acting. They want to... So, that's all we've got time for.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's been fantastic having you, though, Rick.
Thanks, Richard.
I think you're a great potential star one day.
Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, and we're gonna just raid somebody. And remember, everybody. I meant to say, another underperforming actor turned into a star. And remember, everyone, whatever you do, acting. Stay there, Rick. I need you to sign a release for legal.
Okay.
Okay, stay there. We're just gonna raid. We're just gonna raid someone called. Her name is Melula. Just be nice to give someone some. Missed some subs. Oh, sorry. Tom Baldwin, Cadrell, Fluing, Bado TV, Edinburgh's nicest boy, and Andy Hal. Thank you so much for subscribing. Sorry I missed you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Follow this Rick boy on his Twitch and stuff. He's nearly got 10,000 people, which is the aim. Goodbye.
Thank you.
And